Our next speaker is Mr. Oscar Dekker, the CEO of Bruil Beton and Mix, a Dutch building material supplier founded in 1906. Oscar led his team through an amazing transformation journey, moving from a company struggling to survive the crisis into an innovative player leading the concrete 3D printing revolution. All this after experimenting the power of design thinking for innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome for Mr. Oscar Dekkers.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Magda, for this invitation. First of all, I want to ask you, did you also survive yesterday's storm? Yeah? It was amazing. Yeah? When this meeting is finished, I designed some t-shirts with "I survived the storm of Bucharest, 20 September 2017, so you can buy them in the shop behind the stage. Now, first of all, I want to apologize because I don't have a clue about design thinking. But what I do know and what I do have for you in this 20 minutes is a great story about innovation in the Dutch construction industry. So, there we go. This is the company I work for. It's family owned. Started in 1906. 100 million turnover, approximately 375 people working now, and we're busy with making all kinds of building supplies, building materials. We go 5 years back in time, 2012. The crisis in the construction industry in the Netherlands was huge, and we were depending on that market as well. So we lost 45% of our market share. The market decreased with 45%. And we mainly focused on production, so we were depending on the market. We lost millions of euros in that time. So our red ocean was a really bloody red ocean. Employees were thinking, do I still have my job next month? Because we were champions in reorganizations. So we lost approximately 100, 150 people. And in a family-owned company, that's really painful. With people working for you for 25, 30 years, and then you have to say goodbye. But it's important that you give the people who are still in the company a good feeling that next future will be bright again. But that was not possible at that moment. We were blaming the market. At that point, we felt a little comfortable because we were depending on the market. And if we had meetings with suppliers, with clients, they all were blaming the market. And that gave us a real comfortable feeling because we're together in the same ship and we're losing millions, but I think the other party, the other supplier, was losing much more money than we were. So that gives us a comfortable feeling. We were playing not to lose. But that was not a situation what was really comfortable, because could we have a fifth successful generation in our family-owned company? Our dependents become larger, and we didn't know if and when the economic crisis in building and construction would end. Nobody knew. We thought, the end of 2013, nope. The end of 2014, nope. That was not the good answer. So what we should do, the conclusion in 2014 was, we have to use the crisis to change the company. We can't rely on our commodities. We're making precast piles, we're making concrete. Production of commodities. So there was only one way to stop this situation and the uncertain future to create our future ourselves. Not blaming the market, but taking the uncertainty and transforming the uncertainty into an opportunity. That's scary too, but sitting in a crisis is maybe more scary. So the main question was, how can we play to win again? I'm a sportsman, so I'm always thinking in winning and losing. And we were losing millions of money, we were losing employees, but we were losing the game. And I don't like losing a game. So I would like to win again. And then, after a quick survey, because in that, let's say, the end of 2013, beginning 14, we were having a quick survey to see who could help us with this new future. And then I met the co-founder, or the founder of the fourth methodology. It's an innovation method, very structured way, very successful. 4 out of 10 business cases will reach the market. And Gijs van Wulven, he facilitated our method, our dream, our expedition. So it's a fourth expedition, and you see all the aisles, and it's like an expedition. You start, but you don't know where or when or how to finish. Just a short summary of the fourth expedition. It's very structured, and that's what we needed. We had some good examples to bring new brands to the market, but we didn't know really how to do it and how to do it on a structured way. And besides that, we want to have the innovation into the DNA of our employees, but we didn't know how to do it. And Ford helped us with that. Ford helped us to bring new business cases to the market in 4 months, but Ford was helping to change our way of thinking. Ford helped us in changing from playing not to lose to playing to win again. And maybe the second point, the variety of the participants in the team was very important, especially here in this audience, when you're in the same situation, maybe consulting a company, that Gijs advised us really not to put only design thinkers in the team, because then you get a lot of ideas, but you really need to have some execution as well, and you need to arrange your counter vote. So that was a real good and smart advice. Get the blinders off was very difficult for us if you're into that bloody period to get the blinders off. So with the team, we met 60 companies in 4 months all together to hear their stories, to hear their way, and not only inside our industry, but especially outside other industries. And we had to deliver 4 new mini business cases. The first F of Ford is full steam ahead. It's very important to have a good assignment. We also arranged a kick-off meeting with the 60 key employees of our company, just to get them in the beginning, all at the same time at the start. This was our team. Unfortunately, very male-dominated. We changed it already in 5 years now, so if we would make a picture now, it would see a little bit different, but it was very male-dominated industry, so that's what you see here. The second one is, where are the customer frictions? So we invited in an early stage customers of our products, of our commodities, and we asked them, what is your friction? Because if you have a technical solution, that's okay, but you need to solve a customer friction to be in business. So in this period, we created an open mind. Here you see all the deliverables we had. So we invited customers in 3 panels to our company, and we asked them a lot of questions. Raise ideas. Oh, the most inspiring part. But we only started this after 1.5 months. First of all, we started to get the blinders off, and to get ideas everywhere. And we wrote them down and we got them here. And then we started with 2 days of ideating workshop. Raise ideas. And after 1.5 months and after 5 hours of brainstorming session, we had this brain dump of 9064 ideas. 9064 ideas in 5 hours. That's what we got. Many ideas. If you have many ideas, then there should be some good ideas in it. And then in 4 more hours, we shrinked it to 52 concepts. Whoops, it goes too fast. And finally, at the end of the day, we had 15 brand new business cases, concepts, I should say. Next aisle is test the ideas. Again, the voice of the customer, tested our ideas. What do you think of it? How can you make it better? So again, we got the customers inside and asked them, what do you like about these concepts? Then, the last aisle, homecoming. We brought our business cases back home. So from outside the box, we went inside the box again. The brand new concepts brought into our company. Homecoming, and we made a presentation to the board and selected 4 new business cases. Later on, I will show you what the progress is so far. After those 4 months, we finished and we delivered 4 business cases, but we still had a traditional and conservative company. Only 15 people were working on these new business cases. And Bruil is a production company. We are very good in making as much products if we can make. Not what a client wants, but we can produce it. And we are not allowed to make a lot of costs. And we're not allowed to make mistakes. No, we have to produce products as much as possible. So we had to change that way of thinking, not only at the 15 people, but in the company of 374 people, because we want to get innovation into our DNA. We don't look at quarter to quarter if our sales revenues are higher and higher. We're a family-owned company. So where multinationals have a watch, we have the time. So 964 ideas are great, but we have to develop them into invoices, because if we get the invoices, then it's okay. So we had to teach our people our new norms or new rules of innovation. And normally, if you heard all the stories about the great innovation, disruptive innovation, you think about this steep growing line. But after the plan making is over and the dirty work has to be started, it really looks like that. So we had to learn our people to change the way of thinking, that this is not only plan making and nice, but really hard work. We had to learn them other ways. Do you know what this is? Sorry? Wright Brothers? It's, yeah. First of all, we thought it was a crashed plane. No, it's a successful test. So we had to change the way of thinking, praying not to lose to playing to win again. We should make more mistakes. And we should test and over and over and over again, like the Wright brothers did. They didn't flew from America to Europe in 1 month. 7 seconds was the first flight, I thought. So we had to help them. We had to help each other. We had to help ourselves to get a new way of thinking. Our progress so far. We brought 4 business cases, just papers, just a plan. And then we started with teams. We created teams of approximately 4 to 5 people per business case. And the first one, we're also producing with Koba, that's our brand for tile adhesives. Normally, everywhere in the world, you grab a bag, you mix it, create a lot of dust. It's heavy labor, and it costs, in Europe and the Netherlands, a lot of money. So, how could we change this way of thinking and this way of working for the persons who were, for large floors, for supermarkets, airports, train stations, large floors, approximately more than 500 square meters, how could we help them to get their work faster and quicker and without heavy labor, without dust? So we put the adhesive in a silo. It's tegenlijm silo klaar, it's adhesive in a silo, ready to go. No dust, no heavy labor, and much faster. And for us, a good opportunity to start with adhesives, tile adhesives in a silo, new markets. We increased our market share in that port, and at the moment, every weekend, because especially the supermarkets, they close in the weekends, you have 2, 3, 4 days, because they don't want to lose any money, and you really have to turn over the interior of the supermarket. So this is at the moment a quite success. So we're sending invoices, many of them, every weekend. And that's nice. In the weekend, we didn't know that before. They would tile in the weekend. No, they tile in the weekend, 3 minutes, whoa. Most durable cycling path, GeoPever concrete. Cement has an emission of 5% worldwide CO2 emission. So how could we develop something else with a reduction of 65% of CO2? And yes, we send invoices. Oops. It's not working anymore. Ah, there it is. Yeah. Maybe you know the Netherlands, a lot of water, a lot of canals. In the next 20 years, the government is going to replace 40,000 bridges, small bridges. And we have with Heikon a brand with high performance concrete, so we can have a good solution for that market. And we send invoices again. And we had our own moonshot. This is what I liked about most. We and Bruil had our own moonshot. Because you all know this building, don't you? It's Sagrada Familia. And when is it finished? Somebody knows? Nobody knows. No. And why is it so difficult? Because the architect Gaudi, he had a great plan. He had a great plan to build a cathedral like that with all the form freedom forms. But it's very hard to build this in a traditional way. So we started thinking about the solutions. And that's 3D printing. And this was our first test. You see the difference with the Sagrada Familia? Yeah? But it was after 1 day, 2 days. This was after a few weeks. And this was after a few months. And now we're getting into the forms of the Sagrada Familia again. We developed a new business case of 3D printing with architectural concrete. And we can make form freedom much cheaper than it is nowadays. Because you can build the building like the Sagrada Familia, but you can't pay it. And you don't never know when it's going to be finished. And now with 3D printing, we have form freedom affordable. This was our first assignment at the city of Amsterdam. So we added colors and forms and structures. Oh. And this is, maybe you know, the Museumplein, where we had the first 3D printed products. But this is not the end. We have to be successful in 2019 with this business case, and we want to be in the facades of the building because we want to send invoices as much as possible. So we really have focus on this moonshot again. This is our next assignment, 2018, free forms, structure, and forms. And I'm always at the end of my presentation and want to share the lessons learned we had at Bruil during our expedition, and it's not over yet. We're still in the race. Lessons learned. Sense of urgency. If you're losing millions, we really had a sense of urgency to change our behavior. But choose the right moment. Do a very, very, very thorough preparation, because you only can start one time and a good time. Wide support. We have a family-owned company, so we have the shareholders very close by, and they need to be really involved. So all the decision makers and shareholders were involved in the project. Solve customer frictions. Technical solutions are nice, but you really have to solve a customer friction. Then you're much faster. And that's how we call it, R and do. Yes, we have time to talk, but then we get to work and do the dirty work. Testing and testing and testing, and R and do. Fail fast, skill fast. So that's what we learned in the last 5 years, and the best, I want to finish it, is this one, and we still have to learn it. Let's make better mistakes tomorrow. Thank you very much. Some questions, maybe. Yeah, we have different companies in Bruil, so we want to have at least a few persons from every company, not only salesmen or marketing men or design thinkers, but also just people from logistics or supply chain. So it was the most difficult part, because you only had 10 people starting at the beginning and doing the exercise, so that was very, very difficult. To choose the right persons. No, we learned it from Gijs. We didn't. We had our own innovations in 2008 and 9, but didn't know really what we did then. And so we just tried and succeeded once, and then we lost some ideas and some plans. But no, we did it ourselves, and Gijs really helped us with. Nowadays we have a new mission, and all the new ideas are really into the new mission, so we can really judge much better which idea is for the future of our company. Other questions? Nope. Yep. Yeah, that was fortunate. The company is financial very healthy, but if you come with a plan and say, okay, then now in a crisis when we lost people and millions, and said, okay, I want to have this amount of money to do this, then you have to have a good plan. And Gijs really helped us with that. And what could we do? What could we do if we just had the same behavior and went over and over again? We would lose more millions. So they're entrepreneurs, so they like to take a risk. Okay? Yeah.
One more and that's it, because we need to move on. Thank you.
About this sense of urgency, first of all, during the crisis. What about now, when you don't have this sense of urgency? How do you create this sense of urgency when you are at the end of the crisis? Or
very good question. Very good question, because that's very actual at the moment, because Dutch construction is booming like hell at the moment. So we are really busy to keep the soul alive and to sell as much of our commodities as we can to earn money. But at the other hand, we're keeping these new business cases alive with the sense of urgency that we know, because it's booming very steeply, that we know within 5 to 6 years there will be a new crisis. So, and everybody feels the recent crisis. So that's what I'm telling every day, okay, but in 5 years we have a new crisis, so be prepared. So that's the way we try to stretch the sense of urgency. But it's difficult. Yeah, thank you.